Hello. This video is about negative people. Now, there are different types of negative people. There are some people that are just having a bad few days, and with those people we need to be really compassionate because we don't know what's going on in their lives, and if they're being down for a few days, we can't jump on trying to bring them up and tell them everything's great because it might not be for them, so we have to be compassionate about that. Then there's the other type of negative people, the people that are consumed by negative thoughts, the people that try and push negativity onto you. These people can be quite toxic and bring you down. And to be honest, it's just the way they kind of are wired. It's just the way they're programmed. But if you come in contact with these people, say they're your friends or people that you have to be around without choice or whatever, then they kind of really get on top of you. I completely get that. I completely understand. We literally all know someone like it, someone that will just turn anything into a really negative sort of moan almost. Now, what I should probably make you aware of, which I found out personally, is that these people, they're really not aware of how negative they are. To them, they really feel like the whole world's attacking them and that everything's out to get them, that everything goes wrong for them. They really believe that. So if we just take a minute right now just to think, like, imagine living your life like that. That must be so hard for them to go through life thinking that and thinking that everything's out to get them. So, because they're like that, they're kind of naturally, this whole, their attitude, it makes them very naturally defensive. If you know people like this, you might know that if there's any kind of criticism, whether it's constructive or not, pushed in their direction, they can't take it. And that is just a program, like that's like a default of their personality. It's normally quite common with people that are negative. So you might be thinking, right, so what do? I have to be with this person all the time. I can't separate myself from them. So what do I do? Well, it's hard because people are different and people react differently. And this may seem like a really hard thing to do, and trust me, it actually can be. But the main thing is to keep positive. I know, when someone's trying to bring you down, sometimes it's really easy to kind of get sucked into it and feed into their negativity, start agreeing with them, or kind of building up that like negative views with them, talking, moaning, bitching, gossiping, all that stuff. I understand that's the easiest way around it, but fight through that and be positive. Because hopefully it would rub off on them. Hopefully they would see the attention that you get as a positive person and they'd start being positive too. If not, which don't get me wrong, I understand may not work, and maybe you've tried that and you're getting a bit tired now and it's draining you from day to day, then maybe it's time to kind of go for it's kind of like a change of conversation. Now, quite a lot of negative people, no matter what conversation you throw at them, or what kind of, oh, how's your day been? Oh, this or that, from this happened 3 weeks ago, or whatever, like, that's quite common too, unfortunately. So the changing conversation thing is, you go to a conversation, they deflect it into something negative or something to moan about or something that's pissed them off. And again, be compassionate, listen to them. Like if it's something that's genuine, but if they're just moaning for the sake of moaning, you don't need to be dragged into that. It doesn't need to ruin your day. It's not being selfish, it's being selfless. Like you have to look after yourself, and it's better for everyone if you do. So you have to change subject, start talking about their pets, start talking about things you know they love that they can't sort of complain about, get them back in the right mindset, and start talking about good things. Again, if that doesn't work, I mean, you don't have to interact with them, and by this I don't mean ignore them. If you ignore people, they do tend to feel even more so that they're being attacked and that everyone's against them, and it kind of almost accelerates that. And if you still have to be around them and you're ignoring them, it's not great for you, it's not great for them, and if anything, it kind of just exaggerates the whole issue. So what I mean by separating yourself is just not letting yourself get sucked into it. You shouldn't have to be put negative just because people are negative around you. You shouldn't have to be sucked into that. So do try and help them get out of that. I've been negative before in my life and it wasn't a good place to be in. So, having positive input and nice things around you has a big impact. But if those people are really insistent, then just remember that it is not your responsibility. And it's not your job to make them a positive person. It's not your job to make them see the best in everything. So just make sure that you keep trying to keep yourself in that way. And I do still struggle with this, so I actually don't have all the answers, and I definitely don't have coping strategies or lots of them to kind of share with you and how to get through day-to-day life with these people. But do start with trying to help them, and then start counting, start breathing, doing whatever you can to get over that. And if you come up with any other tips, let me know, because I'm always up for learning something new. So have a good day and just try and breathe through it, and remember that it's your life and you're in control of it. And unless you give that control to someone else, then it's completely yours to have and keep and look after and nourish. So look after yourself.